Okay. Someone tells me it's going to take a minute for viewers to show up. Let me see if Nightbot works for YouTube real quick. So we can update. Sign up, I suppose. Log in with YouTube. Create account. Log in, dashboard. Okay, this should be spectating by now. Go whenever chat updates for me. Hold on, join channel. Into the moderators list. Don't forget to press save. Okay. Oh, farm method? I'm theory crafting it. Basically, theory crafting is... Hold on, let me see what the stream's showing. It's this basically. It's using math to figure it out. This doesn't take long. Like, I can tell you that 1 minus 0.99 to the power of 25 equals... I need a calculator for that. Let's just say it's about a 30% chance. I have no idea. That's an example, because that would use the statistic formula chance of not in order to figure out the chance of, which basically tells you, at least this part, which I'll explain in a minute, 30% isn't a real number, it's just my guess. That'll show you the odds of getting a fruit in general from farming ships. And then we'll probably calculate how many ships you can do per hour. This is kind of interesting, although it can be very confusing. But yeah, currently it's dungeons, which fruit exactly and which strategy I am going to go over using this, which will basically have the DPSs of each fruit per point you put in fruit. And we should be able to create a Desmos graphing calculator in order to figure out which one has the most DPS by just plugging these formulas in. This is just arithmetic formulas. I'll probably start at 301. And I'll go from there. Well, that's basically what we're doing. Don't even ask me how long that took for me to make. It's 12 something hours by now, at least. But yeah, for now I gotta make sure Nightbot gets set up. That way people who join late actually have any idea what's going on. That's interesting. Hold on, I need to have him rejoin. Sign into chat. Aw, that's fun. I have a feeling there's gonna be an echo here. That didn't explain anything. Oh, great. I don't need to do that right now. Let me delete that. Let me... Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait for this to wait out. So... think they call it tampering. I'm not going to question their word usage. But basically, that's the Collins test. Share this. Let me add this to chat. Move that. Let's generate new code. Hold on. Wait a minute. I need this copied. Oh, is this the wrong one as well? Yes, I would love to leave YouTube. Okay, that's correct. Link. Okay. Where am I? Alabasta? That's very strange. Okay. This has been 7 minutes of me doing nothing. It's time to start. Let me go ahead and shift this over to Google Sheets. Basically, what we're going to be doing is very quickly explaining this. This is so that all math is accurate and it's used in the United States court system. So I believe it's about 100 to 200 ships per hour, roughly. I can't exactly get an average. And that's probably a high estimate, so that should be fine. Next, we have to do hold on. If I post this into this, no, it doesn't highlight. Okay. In that case, there's no point. Therefore, if the chance of getting a devil fruit from a normal ship is a 1% chance, and a galleon is 2%, and this depends on bounties, so let's just say you have max bounty, and you have about a 30% chance of galleon. Yeah, but this isn't confirmed by devs, so we can't be 100% certain. Great, so let's say that out of these 200 ships, 30% or 0.3 times 0.3 equals, hello Tom, how are you doing? Therefore 300, or sorry, what we're doing, 200 times 0.3 or 30% is 60, therefore 60 ships are galleons on average, and that leaves 200 minus 60, which is 140 ships are normal, and this is still a high estimate. This is like the highest we could possibly try to stretch it to. So from this logic, we have 1 minus 0.99 to the power of 140, which is basically 1 minus chance of not. And as you'll notice, this is actually equal to the chance of. Basically, let's say that we multiplied two percentages together that were independent events. Like, let's say there's a 20% chance of me getting red and a 20% chance of me getting green. We can multiply the chances together to get what the chances of getting both in a row are. So, what's the chances of not getting a fruit in a row? Well, we know the chances of getting a fruit in a row are 1%, therefore the chances of not getting a fruit in a row is 99. Therefore, 99 to the power of attempts equals the odds that we won't get a fruit. And 1 minus is the odds that we will get a fruit. Does that make sense? This is going to take a while to catch up, so. Yeah, that is strange. So, how do I explain this in another language? I might as well just go ahead and pull this up. Here, let me ask Tom, what language? Here. There, that'll make it a little easier for you to translate. Of course, this is delayed for me, so I won't know immediately what your response is. On that note, I should probably get back to this. So, 1 minus chance of not to the power of attempts equals chance of getting a devil fruit drop. And in this case, I have to 1 minus 0.99 to the power of 140 and 1 minus 0.99 or 0.98 to the power of 60. And get both of these because these are our ship amounts. Therefore, these are our trials. Our trials are our attempts. Our attempts in this case are, the amount of ships to the power of amount of ships equals chance of getting a devil fruit drop. Therefore, these would be the formula. If we find out the average distance between these, we actually simplify it into one formula, which would be something like 0.987. No, yeah, it would be closer to 0.987 approximately. Let me go ahead and find that. So 140 to 60 means we would have some sort of equation like this. 140 per every 60. Should just be 140 over 60 actually. Or 60 over 140. 60 over 140 might be better. This is 0.42, therefore this is like 0.6. Wait, 0.984, therefore. And actually this is more rounded. Power of our 200 attempts should get us a legitimate answer. Okay, so chance of no formula. This is chance of formula. Let's not talk about the birthday paradox because I am going to have to talk about that later. Spanish. Oh no. So, hold on. I actually have this pulled up still. Actually, I'm pretty sure you know that that's... It's a sentence. Just to make clear, it's a sentence. It's not a word. Wait, hold on. I'm probably confusing some people. Does this make sense? In Spanish. Oh my god, I'm actually getting killed by the Lucid lads right now. And that is... Actually, let's just go ahead and plop that in a calculator. .984, I think. Did I do 849? No, it's not 84, yeah. To the power of 200. That's a 96% chance of getting double fruit. So, 0.96, so... Each hour, if we highball it. This is actually kind of bad because we can do this multiple times. So you see, lots of 2. Oh yeah, this is percentage. This is 0.96 times 96. Sorry, 0.96. Let me clarify all of these. Chance of 3. Yeah, this is still rounded. And the odds of this happening, where you get 3 in 1 hour, are somewhere around... That is not... Okay, hold on. Calculator, I need you to refresh. That makes no sense at all. Pretty sure you only did it once. I don't need plus here. Okay, so it is 0.884. Okay, so we have an 88% chance. This is still at best because usually you won't get. Oh, that's bad. Basically, the independent events theory is very complicated. If you understand it, this... I mean, this is 2 different formulas. Like, this isn't something I would expect you to understand like the names of, because these are complicated, obviously. But basically, let's say we have event A and event B. What is the chance of both happening independently? And you just get, you know, A% times B% equals, you know, AB%. That's the chance of them both happening. But a lot of events aren't independent, but in this game they are. So we know that this is independent. There's no pity system. If there was a pity system, these wouldn't be independent, and we would have to do event A given event B, which is a different question, and we don't have to do this. So basically, for ship farming, at your absolute best, you have an 88% chance of 3 fruits. World record for dungeons, I believe at this point, is 15 minutes for 20. And the average time would be somewhere around, you know, 20 to 30. So, at the very least, fruit farming kind of stands a chance, but it doesn't really. I mean, you also have to remember that fruits spawn in servers and they don't spawn in dungeons. Let's just say this is 1 extra per 4 hours. And is therefore, we get, what, +1 guaranteed every 4 hours? So we're just adding 0.25 each hour. But we're not adding 0.25 though. Because we can't add 0.25 to this equation. We can add 0.25 to the basic equation, but we can't add 0.25. Basically, that's just, you know, disclaimer, and that's, you know, at best. For ship farming, also including 2 ships as well, because you won't get 100 in 1 ship. I mean, we can literally just go into GPO, literally find the spawn time of ships and test this. But then you have to account for killing them and stuff like that, so it wouldn't be accurate. So getting this any more accurate would make it inaccurate, and that's why I don't want to get any more specific. So an 88% chance of 3 fruits isn't bad. If we're highballing it, if we're lowballing it, we're probably going to get some... is probably... Let's see, lowballing would get us 0.63 last time I tested it. 0.63 times 0.63 times 0.63. And I can just go ahead and copy this. I don't have to write this out twice. That's a 25% chance. So we have a 25. As for dungeons, when we calculate dungeons, yeah. Independent events probability. I think this might have a translation. If I remember this site. I don't remember it though. They have classes. I know that much. There should be... Oh, it's not in here. Yeah, I don't know how the term translates then. Didn't misspell that. I honestly can't even see the viewer count right now, so I've got no idea who already knows this stuff and who doesn't. I guess. Refresh. We just did literally everything for ship farming that we had to do. Collins test. This is used in the United States court system. I'm pretty sure it's also used in the Europe court system. But this is basically using statistics in court to prove someone guilty. All numbers must be real and not guesses. In other words, we can't just guess that you get 200 ships per hour. That's usually not what happens anyway. In this case, we guessed 100 to 200 because it's guaranteed to be in there somewhere. You get 3 ships at once and you have to destroy them, and your move cooldown is 10 seconds itself. But yeah, there's almost no chance this isn't close to accurate, so this has to be close to accurate, and that's why we put it in a range, because we aren't sure. We're making it as accurate as possible. All formulas must be applied correctly. We've done that. We've confirmed that this is independent events. We've confirmed that there's an extra fruit. We've confirmed that there's no pity system. We've done all that. This must be presented without tampering. This means you can't use the birthday effect to claim someone's guilty of murder. That's basically where you use really large statistics to outweigh small statistics. Like, oh, hey, there's a 93% chance compared to the 6% chance it's not, and then you're using 93% instead of the 7% that he's not guilty to try to make it look like he is guilty. That's the third point, but it's not even related to us. I'm pretty sure they describe it better on the Wikipedia. Okay. On the Wikipedia about the Collins test. So basically, from the Collins test, all of this is accurate. Even though we have a very large range, it's still accurate. At best, you might even be able to get more than 200 if you're using Kraken, Sea Beast, multiple ships, etc. It's just going to be really laggy. You aren't guaranteed to get all the points, and people will start stealing it from you if you've got multiple people there. So I'm not really looking forward to calculating all that. Let's just say it could go up to somewhere around a 90% chance, because there's no way it gets higher than that. That would require, instead of, the 98% chance we have right now, that would require a 99.9% chance, which is very unlikely. So this isn't possible. This is probably up to 90 at most. So next off, we have Kraken and Sea Beast. We don't have the average spawn time, so we're just going to assume we're going to make a wide range of 0 seconds to, 10 minutes and go from there. So if you were to get a Kraken every 0 seconds and it takes you, let's say you have a party, so each party member has to do 10%. Then that can be split. I can't say it can be split 6 ways because it doesn't actually go down into a whole number. That can be split 6 ways. So they can be split 5 ways at most, 3 ways normally, probably. That's probably the best you can get, 3 ways normally. In any random server, probably the best you can get is 3 ways. So theoretically, if you have 3 people working on this, each one does their damage and the boss immediately dies, it might take you somewhere around a minute to finish. Let's just say that. With 5 members. But it's going to take time for it to spawn. It's going to take time for you to get to land. Even if you just fight it at the sea, that's unlikely. So I'm going to add a disclaimer on here that this all assumes you're fighting it at sea and killing it when you deal 10%. damage each. Oh, sorry, I think it's 10%, but it can be split 5 ways at most, so yeah. That's important to remember. And there's a 5% chance of the fruit drop if I checked last correctly. So maybe a 5% chance of fruit drop. But this is also split among a group. Oh, 5. So by no means would you do this all. That's just a disclaimer. Let's put this in bold. Bold, italics, underline. But yeah, this is like assuming all of this. This is just assuming a lot of stuff. And with this, if you've got 5 members, a minute to finish, and, you know, a 10% chance, sorry, a 5% chance, 1 minute per, and you're doing this for an hour, that means you have 60 chances, 5% each time. Therefore, this is 1 minus 0.95 to the power of 60. You know, at best. Which is, I should seriously be using decimals for this. 1 minus 0.95 to the power of 60. That should not be 0.95. I'm not entirely sure where this is getting it from. 1 minus 0.95 to the power of 60. Yes, this is how it's supposed to do. I don't think this is accurate, so we're going to go to Desmos. Scientific calculator. And then we're going to put this in. Desmos should take this just as easily. That's not what I meant to copy. Where's the other thing? Just so we're clear. This is what I meant to copy. The power of 60? Not 6, please. How on earth is 0.95? 95%. Oh. It actually ends out coming back. That's ridiculous. Okay. That makes more sense. So this actually ends up at a 95% chance of a fruit. And it's actually less than I thought it would be. I thought it would be closer to 99%. Like, this looked ridiculous on paper. Oh, yeah, this is chance of not. Chance of is 5%, trial is 50. Yes, okay, so this is right. Each hour. Therefore, we just multiply this again. This is 0.95. 0.95 power of 3. We're trying to get 3 fruits per hour. So this is 0.95 power of 3. This is 0.85. So we have an 85% chance with this method. Yeah, this is kind of stupid. So every minute you kill, say, a sea beast or a kraken, and somehow you manage to do this every single minute for an hour, like on the minute, it's kind of possible. It's not very likely. It's kind of possible, though. That's why this is the max. Each member has to do 10%, therefore you could potentially get 10 drops, but I'm pretty sure you can only get 5 at most. So we're just counting that in. 3 ways normally. So if 5 people do it at once, and it's a 5% drop chance, then it's 1 minus 0.95, not to the power of 60, but to the power of 60 times 5. Okay, that's it. So 240. This is 60 at best for solo. And this is 1 minus 0.95 to the power of 60 times 5. 1 minus 0.95 is 60 times 5. Oh, that's 0.9999. Okay, yeah, you're getting a fruit in an hour, okay. There's no world in which you do not get a fruit in an hour of 5 people doing this at perfect. Yeah, I don't even have to calculate this. This is definitely going to be like 98%. By the way, I'm not using one of these formulas correctly per se, because the correct formula is very long and it gets you a similar answer. So I'm just kind of rounding on this very last part here. We're just going to say it's 98%. Yeah, the formula that you actually use to get this among all the people, and the chance of 3 per hour is something like, you know, point this times 3, or times itself 3 times. Let's just do the power of 3 to the power of this. And therefore it gets you a different answer, but it's in the same range. That's kind of why I've been ignoring it. But yeah, if we do want to do this per 3, I will definitely update it. Because we can update all of this too, but we're using the same formula for each one, therefore the difference is the same. The average difference, the radical difference is the same. It's still misused though, so we are going to fix this up a little bit, but that's after we're done. So for now, we're just ranking them. Update. But yeah. So that's what we've been doing so far. Basically, to say we're doing Collins test, all numbers must be real and not guesses. All formulas must be applied correctly. It must be presented without tampering. In other words, saying 95% versus 5%, saying 95% to emphasize something would be tampering in this case. This is used by the United States court system. Number 3 is clarified a lot more in there. I'm pretty sure this is also used by Europe, and this is used in court cases daily. This is basically statistics for court cases. This is how you prove that it's all accurate. So we have 100, 200 chips per hour. We have a 1% chance per normal gallon. That's 2%. And this is accurate. Like, you aren't going to get, well, we could get less, but you aren't going to get more. And the reason we're doing this with 100 is because we're trying to highball it. Because I already know that Dungeons is going to absolutely crush all of these combined. Like, I don't have to calculate that. I know that already. I've done it before. That's why I'm highballing them all as much as I possibly can to show the difference. Because it's massive. Dungeons is just ridiculous. But then we have to calculate DPS on Desmos using this, but that's later. So basically, we do this again. That's CBS, that's ship farming. Dungeons is the only thing left. You can do 3 dungeons per hour. There's no need for simplification, and they all get you a fruit. And you can do them solo, but you can do them with friends too. The rewards don't split though, so it'll actually be less than this if you're doing it with friends. So cracking the CBS is best with friends, because multiple people can get the reward drops. It's actually ridiculous. Look at this. That's with just 5 people getting credit. Now, if we swap this down to 3 people getting credit, this is still ridiculous. Like, how many 9s is this? This is just stupid. This is so many 9s. This is actually the chance in decimal form. This is the chance in non-decimal form. I should clarify. Let me Control-Z what I just did. So yeah, some of this is just ridiculous. Therefore, But dungeons isn't like the best method either, because we could also calculate that this up here will give you like a 30% chance of 4 as well as an 80% chance of 3, which looks nice, but the odds are a lot lower than you would expect, and we're trying to figure out the fastest way possible, as well as the most reasonable way possible, as well as the most reasonable way for low-level players versus high-level players. So we're figuring all this out. So this is like the optimal for Cebius, and it's very high. If we didn't have this optimized, dungeons would still be better for groups. That or ship farming, since you get more ships with groups. Therefore, the chances are higher with the entire group. Birthday effect kind of plays a little role in that. So what I've described so far is basically dungeons. You can get at least 3 of them per hour usually. This is 20 minutes each. If you have more people, you'll get them faster. Solo world record's 15 minutes with Mare, I think. Depending on the fruit, it can get faster, but it hasn't been done before. No one's really speedrunning it. I suppose that about explains it. Yeah, dungeons is 100% 3 per hour. Yeah, I also argue that it's 2-3 per hour, especially for lower level players. As you know, we aren't exactly going to use the case study of the world record to show the average time, or to show the time that most people can achieve the median time. So yeah, so let's just say it's 2-3. Just clarify. I'm going to figure out the odds of the Logia are going to be like 1 minus, let's see, 0.92 to the power of 2-3 per hour, which is just, I have no freaking idea actually. Let's put this in. Just to the power of 2. This is on weekends, of course. We have 2 weekends versus non-weekends 2, but the ratio remains the same. We're looking for ratio. It doesn't matter as long as we use the same numbers, ratio remains the same. Ratio is what we're looking for. Let's say it's 0.92 for now. I also kind of want to highball this as well. Ratio, you know. That's 22% chance of a Logia each hour. It's not half bad. It's not the best. Naturally, if you did these with 5 people in spawn and you got one immediately every single time it popped up, you would have somewhere around a 60-70% chance probably, just at looking at it. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yep. That's all I'm doing for today. I want to retest some of this. I want to fix this up over here, where I use the formula to get chance of 3. For now, I'll go ahead and delete it since it is kind of trolling people. People who haven't actually seen me do the process, you know. 5 ways, 3 ways normally. This is explained. This is not explained. Oh yeah, 63% chance. Let's say this is, you know, not exactly accurate. This is 96. This is for ship farming levels. No, we don't have to say probably here. This is definitely accurate. This is like Theorycrafted. This is statistics. It's accurate. It's going to happen more likely than not. Let me look this over. Tell me I did not do this again somewhere. I mean, this is kind of multiplying incorrectly, because 0.984 isn't really how you would distribute it. Yes, we do want the ratio, and we do want the ratio down here to show, but we also have to get the ratio of these. We didn't really compare ratios, which is kind of not what you're supposed to. I mean, there was no reason to in the first place, so let's just be fair. We didn't have to compare these, so we didn't. This is roughly accurate. Pretty sure our old number is going to be somewhere away. Yeah. Tomorrow I'll probably finish up dungeons. Then I'll go on Desmos Graphing Calculator and start doing FFX equals the DPS we can get from this sheet, for example. The base would be all this combined, so 316. And then we would literally add this all in a formula. We could do this per move as well, and then do the cooldowns of the move. But that would require a 3D graph, so I don't want to do that. Plus, most people don't know how to read 3D graphs, as they're very confusing. At least at first. It's not confusing when you know how to. Yeah, that's basically it. I'll do the rest tomorrow. There's a lot to do. Yeah, it'll probably take me a few days. Basically, still in process of making. We've done about half it today, even though I already know all the solutions because I did this earlier. Yeah. That's it. I'll see you guys later. If anyone's still watching, I appreciate it. Helps out the stream somehow. Whenever this gets monetized, it'll help out even more. See ya. Let's just wait for this to get that.